everybody. So we got Dominic and the associates. Zev, we're here today. We want to kind of talk about what's going on in the market. Dom, I know I've been hearing a lot where there's people telling me it's flying off the
Well,
shelf.
wait a
It's
minute. The
not,
market's heating up, isn't it?
just like the weather. But and maybe that's not the true story of it all. You got to kind of peel back the curtain.
How do we peel back the onion? How do we do this?
So it
What
kind
do
of
you
really
do?
depends what you're
Yeah.
trying to do in the market. If you're a buyer, seller, investor, and then also price point matters.
All right. So most people go through this experience of buying or selling maybe 2 to 3 times in their whole life.
Mhm.
And, a lot of times you hear sound bites and headlines that say the market's doing this or the market's doing that. So what's really going on is we have to do what's called an area market survey. So what I had Zev do is pull all the data in Stark County, and we were just trying to get a sampling of what's really happening in the market so we can articulate it to you as a consumer, what's really happening. Are houses selling really fast or are they not? So there's a reason if it's selling fast or not. So the
Right.
main thing we know is the location's a given.
Mhm.
The condition and price usually is decided by buyer and seller, right?
Correct.
Now, as an agent, we try to give them good information. So what we do is we dig into the data, and the data as of now, what is it saying?
So if you're in what we would call the sweet spot where there's a lot of buyers that fall in,
You mean
and
if I'm a buyer in the market?
correct.
What am I, you're saying, what does that sweet spot mean? Is that good or
Yeah.
bad for me?
So
As
it
a buyer.
depends. So seller, you're in an advantageous position where a lot of buyers fall in a $200,000 to $300,000 range. Whether
So across the board?
in Stark County in our popular school districts, that's the common theme that 200 to 300,000
Is a very hot price
is
point.
very hot price point because there's a lot of buyers that fall into that.
So if I list a house or put a home on the market and that say 150
Yeah.
to 350,
As long as that I'm going
location.
into it with I control the condition and the price as the seller. If I'm aligning with that with the location, it's selling very quickly and oftentimes with more than
Multiples.
one buyer interested in it. Now,
Makes sense. Well, what if I have 400, 500, $600,000 house? What would that look like?
it depends. So there's different school districts that have levels of average sale price, let's say, for example. So if you're in an area where the average sale price is in the fours, it's a little bit more common of a listing, so there's more people that can afford that. However, if you get into areas where 500 and plus, there's less buyers. So what ends up happening is, yes, there's less choices because not as many homes are for sale for that.
But don't you think I have a home in the
Okay.
500 price range, let's say,
Okay.
in very nice shape, very nice condition. It appears 500 is a good price
Yeah.
point, but it's not getting showings or it's not getting activity. Why do you think that is?
It's a multitude thing. So interest rates, looking backwards, we look left on the graph,
Yeah,
which
right,
would
right.
be, we think about 3-4%. 500,000 seems a lot more affordable. Well, you fast forward today, it's
Yeah,
maybe a little
true.
higher, closer to 7. So some people are knocked out of that budget. So what ends up happening is there's just less buyers. So you don't need a ton of activity to sell your house. You really only need one buyer. But
The needle in the haystack. We're always looking for.
that's what it is. But the more activity you can get, the better. But at that price point, there's just less buyers that are available to buy.
Yeah, I think it's great information, and the market ebbs and flows every couple of months. So I think it's just important to stay informed every step of the way. So that if the time ever comes that you need to have a conversation, feel free to reach out to Zev or myself. Zev, how do they get you?
Yeah, call or text me at 330-933-3258.
Reach me anytime. Call or text 330-418-1535, or check out our more than 535 star reviews at dominicfonte.com.